So amazingly, I think I accidentally unplugged my mic during that last tour. I'm sure it was the greatest work I've ever done in my life. I'm just gonna head back to Silver Lake and head home right now. So I'll show you a little bit of the neighborhood. There's a lot of traffic here today for absolutely no reason. The parking lot's not crowded. There's not like a ton of people here. I do not know what's going on. But here we are at Griffith Park. Personally, my favorite place in the central city of Los Angeles. It holds a very special place in my heart. When I first moved here, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't know anyone. So I found myself coming up to the Griffith Observatory every day and just going for a hike up these hills right here. These hills are the hills that the Hollywood sign's on. So I'd hike up to the Hollywood sign, I'd just hike up to the summit of the mountain. Back then, this park was never crowded. Something happened about 10 years ago, and it was like all of Los Angeles discovered that it had parks. Los Angeles has some of the most parkland of any city in the nation. Actually, I think outside of Phoenix, I think it does have the most parkland of any city in the nation. And people would never use the parks, and now they're just always crowded. I'm not complaining about it, but there was something we said about having an entire park to yourself. Forgot to put on my helmet. I cannot get it on for the life of me. Whenever a motorcycle stops in the road, people behind you don't know what to do. Just don't hit me and we will be fine. So yeah, I got all this equipment just like a week ago and I keep testing it, and every time I test it I make one new mistake, and I'm pretty sure in the last video I accidentally unplugged my audio. So I'll upload it anyways. Who knows, maybe it'll go viral as the bad audio tour of Los Angeles. Luckily I have this really deep voice. Maybe the GoPro caught it. But here we are, we're just driving through central Griffith Park right now. This park is 4,000 square miles. Excuse me, 4,000 square miles. 4,000 acres, so what, 7 or 8 square miles. So if you ever seen the movie Get Him to the Greek, we are coming up to the Greek Theater right now. Right here on the right is the world famous Greek Theater. It's a small little Greek theater. It's really fun. Much more intimate than the Hollywood Bowl. Also, if you've never seen Get Him to the Greek, it's a really funny movie, and it's also a strangely accurate movie about drug culture. Whoever wrote that movie very obviously knew a lot about drug culture and had been involved in that scene at some point in their life. Again, it's Hollywood, so I guess everyone in Hollywood has been involved in that scene at some point in their life. We're now going through the Griffith Park neighborhood. This neighborhood's a little different than other LA neighborhoods. This is not a typical LA neighborhood. This is just a very rich neighborhood. That super unique LA thing of every style of house next to one another. No consistency whatsoever. We have like a cottage here. Have like some weird 70s house right there. This is like almost like a two-door mansion. Basically every house you would see from back east to the Midwest to the West to Spain to Europe, all in one place. It's kind of its charm. So this is just a quick trip home. We're gonna go through Los Feliz real quick. Los Feliz has two main roads, Vermont and Hillhurst. We are on Vermont, which is the more urban of the two main roads. You know, one of these days I'm going to be given a tour and a car is going to ram into me and we're going to get it all on film. So here we are in the main street of Los Feliz. Fred 62, super old diner, one of the older theaters. Really fun little area to hang out in. Bars and clubs and restaurants. The Dresden is super famous. If you've ever seen the movie Swingers, that's probably what made it famous for my generation. To the right we have Hollywood. To the left we have the rest of the Eastside. Silver Lake, Echo Park, Los Feliz. We are now on Sunset Boulevard, one of the major thoroughfares of all of LA. It goes all the way from Chinatown to the ocean. Wow, there's just a lot of construction and a lot of like closed roads today. The traffic itself isn't bad. It's all of this BS. These 5/1 apartments are overtaking the city right now. They've got to be my least favorite architecture. Just completely killing the charm of the old LA neighborhoods. And again, lane splitting is legal in California, so when you see me doing these weird moves that look dangerous, they actually aren't. They're very safe, and they're 100% legal. I would say this 5 point right here would be the border between Los Feliz and Silver Lake. You can kind of see the Vista Theater right there. That's where the set of Intolerance was from like 1913. The Vista went bankrupt during COVID and is now owned by Quentin Tarantino, and Quentin Tarantino is redoing the theater as we speak. I'm sure he's going to do an amazing job with it because he's such a movie fan that he's going to just make the place awesome. The Vista's a really bizarre theater. I don't know how to explain it. It's literally built into the set of Intolerance. If you've ever seen Intolerance, it's the scene of Babylon where the elephants try to get into the city. It's one of the largest sets ever built in Hollywood history. I think the walls were something like 200 feet tall. Took up this entire block. Is this street just begging for a roundabout or what? It's like a perfect roundabout street. But it's Los Angeles, so I wouldn't complain. Because Angelinos hate change. mural was from the cover of a CD, a really famous CD, and I can't think of the guy's name. Peter York or something. Ended up committing suicide. I have friends who live in his old house. There's El Cid. We are now in the Sunset Junction. The Sunset Junction is one of the main streets of Silver Lake. Used to be like one of the hippest neighborhoods in LA. I think it's still probably the coolest neighborhood in LA, but it's more of just an expensive neighborhood now. I like you very much. So we're now on the edge of Silver Lake. If we went straight, we would hit Echo Park, but I'm not going to go that way. The only reason I'm giving you this tour right now is because I'm pretty sure the last tour had no sound. I don't want you to see where I live, even though everyone knows where I live, so I don't know where I'm hiding it. So I'm going to end the tour right here. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoy these little tours of Los Angeles and other places, I plan on doing a bunch of them, so please like and follow. Get to see the different cities of America through the eyes of a motorcyclist. I wish I could put the smells, because the smells of a motorcyclist are the best. You get to smell the city. One last thing, if you ever see like car racing in movies in Los Angeles, it's always on these streets because there are these steep hills and then you have the palm trees, so it's like everything you want to see in the Fast and Furious. So they're always in the Silver Lake and Echo Park hills. Look at these palm trees.